obviously we are going to be talking about what's gone on with Scouse Slayer, the comments that have been made. So, mods are going to be saying this throughout the chat and going to be acting on it. I would really prefer, guys, if you could just basically no body shaming comments, no threats, nothing like that. We're not going to bring up people's families or kids or things like that. Tat, thank you for joining and subbing. Thank you. We're not going to have any of that shit. That's going to get muted immediately. You're not going to get blocked, but you're going to be muted, alright? Now, obviously, the subject is going to be triggering. It's going to be triggering. We are talking about somebody who is making escialized comments towards people who have been through serious trauma. So I'm trying to say this in a way that can be said on TikTok, if you know what I mean. I'm not trying to dumb anything down. The trigger warning is here for a reason. Now, this clip, a lot of people are not wanting to even play because it is getting the live streams taken down. Scout Sister, thank you for subscribing. Thank you. Now, this has been edited. Basically, this has been edited. So some of the words that obviously may cause the live to go down is being stopped. We're going to look at this video. I'm going to react to it. And we're going to watch a couple of videos where people have talked about this as well. I couldn't find anything from her Sympathy Play the Violins live earlier on. I did see it live as well. Now, Scouse Slayer. What have I got to say about Scouse Slayer? Okay, so Scouse Slayer. I originally found out who Scouse Slayer was because she was licking feisties at one point, right? It was quite anti-me. Now, she walked away from her and then started doing her other thing. Now, recently, yeah, up the hoop. Now, recently, obviously, she's been trying to emulate Evil Queen, in my opinion. And I'm sure in a lot of other people, you know, emulate Evil Queen, try and be edgy and witty and cutting and all this sort of shit, right? And all she does is stumble over her own words, say the most vile, triggering shit that comes out of left field from nowhere. Thank you both for the sub. Comes out from like nowhere, completely out of left field. She is... And I would have approached this live by saying that Scouse was trying to be something that she's not, and this has led to this bullshit. However, finding out that she purposely brought up somebody's trauma and the family member that caused that trauma directly to that person, that changes things. That changes things massively. That shows a spiteful, vindictive character that really, if you're going to speak like that, you are going to be held accountable. It is disgusting. It is vile. And sitting, you see, when a creator, you know, I'm sick of hearing this, you know, people can't be cancelled, people can't be cancelled. They can. They genuinely can. Like, yes, a creator can come back on an app once they've been sort of exposed or whatever you want to call it, but they can suffer the consequences. I have exposed PDFs, wrong-ins, all sorts of different people, and sometimes they have accounts with a large following. They even have people in their room. But when people speak about them and people realise it isn't a safe space, it's quite frankly the opposite, people stop going in. People stop watching, or people are pissed off so much that they will report the content, report the live, report the account, report it. And eventually, it can go down like that. It can go down like that. Yes, they can still start another account the next day and the next day, but you can still impact on somebody like that if you feel needed. My advice to people would be not to go in this person's live. Not at all. This person, I mean, like I said, we are going to discuss very triggering things. I've told you that from the start. So if you can't handle it, you are in no pressure to be in this live right now. And your mental health, your well-being is more important than seeing what the latest drama is on TikTok. And that's not like dumbing it down to you. It's important, okay? That live, that space is not a safe space. Whether you're part of the trans community and you have to hear the transphobic comments, or whether you have to hear comments that are just vile. You know what I mean? Vile over and over and over. Right. So I've had a little bit of a rant. Yeah, people saying come back in a bit. Absolutely fine. I would say we're going to be clear. We're on until about 8 o'clock. I think the first hour is going to be these sort of things. Right. So I'm going to press play once again. Trigger warnings will be throughout the chat. Obviously, any sort of body shaming will end up with a mute. Feel free to express your opinions, though. Just, you know, do it in a respectful way. You know, and at the end of the day, if you make a comment on your account in the chat, it's not my mouth that made the comment. It's not my fingers that typed the comments or any of my mods. It's you personally. So you could be held accountable for your own shit. Right. Last warning, if you're going to find conversation to do with essay, child essay, all sorts of stuff like that, please scroll on, go to another live, check in with us tomorrow, whatever, because for the next, you know, probably till about 7, we are going to be, you know, I'm going to be playing these videos. So if that sort of thing is a trigger for you, feel no pressure to be here.
On this app that I've said and done a lot worse. So to those people who were sat there going, you can't say that, Cockapoo didn't do that. She did. She asked for proof. She said that
I don't know if that's true. Was there any ever evidence shown that Cockapoo said that? I'm just, like, me personally, I haven't seen it. You guys will tell me in the chat.
She was mocking it, okay? Literally mocked somebody's cancer. She's doxed people's information.
Has she?
Are you all seriously picking up for somebody like that? Seriously?
Now, Scouts, you should really think about your words here, because you're expecting everyone to pick up on Cockapoo because you're saying that she did all of this shit. Yet, so many hours ago, you were crying on live saying you didn't know what you could do. You are going to be pulled up on your vile shit. The difference between this Cockapoo thing that's just claiming, I've never seen any receipts of it, but there's a goddamn receipt of you saying this sort of vile shit. And regardless of how vile somebody is, you don't tell somebody with cancer to go and rot, which is basically what you did. Well, she wasn't crying, was she? Like, I heard a very witty comment, if you could call it witty, in Luke's live earlier, when a woman said that Scouse Slayer's eyes looked constipated. So she was trying very hard to squeeze something out, but nothing was coming out. I thought that was bang on the money.
And when I said, right, this is my opinion, okay, the woman's got cancer, okay, I'm sorry about that, really, really I am, and I hope she beats it, right, okay?
The fact that this woman as well has like helpline numbers pinned on her screen while she's talking like this, just because you have links in your bio for mental health doesn't mean that you can be shit to everybody's mental health. Thank you. Doesn't mean that you can be an arse. Like, it doesn't mean, like, you know, just because I've got that on the screen doesn't mean that I can do say whatever I want, for example.
But the fact that just because she's poorly doesn't mean or ever give her the right to use it as a pass, okay?
A pass for what?
Oh well, she said this or done this, but she's got C, so that's okay. We can't pull her up on it.
I don't think anybody ever said that, right? Like, you know, I don't think anybody ever said that. I think people made an accusation and then the receipts never came out. And because let's face it, right? I'll ask you a question, chat, right? From what you know of Scouse Slayer, does she dislike misread? And that's me using a word that, you know, TikTok's safe. Does she dislike misread? Does she dislike the click, if you want to call it the click? Those people around it, yeah? Cockapoo is obviously one of these people that they say is part of this clique, the script writer, all this sort of stuff. You are blindsided, like most biased people on this app, because you've heard a rumour, and without seeing the receipts, you ran with it because it's a collective of people that you can affect by it that you don't like.
Oh well, she's just called this man this, but she's got C, so we'll have to let her get away with it. That's what I meant, okay? I'm not very good at putting my words together, okay?
No fucking shit. And do you know what it is? If you're not, because let's be honest, Scouse has said some pretty horrendous stuff already. If you are not built for, I don't know, would you call this public speaking? Do you know what I mean? And if you're not built to do that, have a back and forth with your comments, concentrate on the content you're reacting to, give an honest and biased opinion or whatever, don't fucking do it. Like, I'm never at risk to myself mentally that I'm going to say something like that or that she says, you know what I mean?
Sometimes I get it all jumbled up, and you can take me saying that she should rot in a corner as me saying that she should unalive, but that's not.
When something rots, it dies, Scouse. And then, like, literally, like, you're talking about a woman that is ill, that has cancer. You're saying that she should rot in a corner. What do you think happens after something rots? After something starts rotting, you know, like what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Even if you took away the facts in your, I assume, pea-sized brain from the way you go on, that because you said rot, people are assuming that you said that it is an unalive thing, when actually just the statement of somebody rotting who is already ill is a vile comment. You don't even have to add the other bit. That's the assumption made in your head. Be like, why has everyone got a problem with this?
What I meant in my head, okay?
Fuck knows what goes on in there.
And I am done explaining myself to people that are not in my life. Well, Kylie, do you know what you can do? You can.
Right, this is where there's going to be triggering comments that are around essay and things like this. Once again, if this is something that's going to potentially trigger or upset you, please scroll on from this live. I don't want to upset anybody. Look after yourselves foremost.
And go and find your mummy's teeth and suck on them, lovely. Thank you. About me.
It's the face, man, the smug face. Like, she thought, like, yeah, so what? What are you going to say now? Eh? What are you going to say now? Do you think this is big and clever? Do you think this is big and clever? Do you think this is because... I just can't.
I've not got space at the minute, so when I get space I will. Go. I'm so sorry to the people who have got cancer. I think some people need to go and find their mum's or their dad's schlong and go and have a little suck.
What would possess you? What would possess you to tell people that they need to go and suck parts of, you know, there's only certain things I can say on here. Thank you, Jojo, for the sub. There's only certain things that you can, you know, why? Why? What in the fuck would make you think that? And then obviously the comments are pulling her up, and this is the response.
The indignity, oh, the shock. Oh.
Absolutely vile.
Oh. Uncle then? Other people's triggers are not mine to manage, okay?
Now I wanted to point this out. I want to point this bit out. She's just said, other people's triggers are not mine to manage. Now, in some respect, that's a correct statement. However, in this instant, somebody is pulling her up in the comments who she knows personally, who is in her life, and that person has disclosed what happened to them when they were a child. Okay? So, however, the abuse for that person, thank you Ella for the sub, the abuse for that person was caused by a different family member. So when you hear the following statement, this is directly her referencing that person's essay. And as I said at the start, you could look at mumbling words, trying to be something that you're not, trying to emulate Evil Queen, etc. But then when you hear something like that, that is vindictive and it is evil.
Natalie, no worries. There's a lot of people in here who are clearly neglected by
This is a weird stick.
their other halves, you know, in the department region. I'd suggest you go to Love Honey, go to Ann Summers, get yourself some toys, give yourself a good Roger in and get over your issues. Other people's triggers and traumas are...
Imagine being pulled up by generalising essay and making remarks about essay, child essay, all that sort of stuff, referencing somebody's personal essay story that they have mentioned to you, and in the same conversation as talking about examples of essay, you tell somebody to go to an S shop and buy implements and use them on yourself. What goes on in there? That's very strange to me.
are not mine to manage. And
Exactly, Rubik's. I just want to pin that comment. And unfortunately, Rubik's very hitting the nail on the head there, but that's what it's implying.
not mine to
Jetty, thank you for the sub.
be mindful of. You heard what I said? Give yourself a good time. On me. How do you do what I am, and I am an emotional person, right? Okay, I can be happy one minute, sad the next, worried one minute, angry the next. I'm an emotional person, and I'm proud of it.
I wouldn't be proud of saying what you just have.
Again, go and get yourself an
3 times.
toy on me. Tissue for your issues, darling. I'm not stunted. Well, I'm only 4'10", but okay. I've literally been through the years on this app, been dragged pillar to post.
Do you ever think why you might have been dragged from pillar to post? This happens all the time with creators when they're pulled up on shit, right? And they go, the trolls, people are trolling me, people are being so nasty, people pulling you up for the shit you have done, said, whatever. That's not trolling, that's people with strong opinions who've been upset by you, that you easily label as trolling and go, boom, out the window, forget about that. So anything that you've been pulled up about, you have no care about.
Post, pillar to post. I know, it's fine. I'm done. I am absolutely done. Big up to our short girls and guys.
I'm pretty sure the short girls and guys do not claim you.
So it's okay for me to sit here and have people going at me. all night.
Fucking take this, will you? It's there. It's on its way to you.
But when I fight back and people don't like it, it's a...
Fight back. Telling somebody who is going through cancer to rot in a corner and telling other people to go and suck on whatever, you know, I can't say it. And then also to get over the fact they're triggered by essay comments and get themselves to love honey. What are you talking about? What are you actually talking about? It's been really hard for you, hasn't it? It's just insane.
Crime, okay. Hello, my Gillian Williams. Oh, Diddums, Megan. Diddums.